Hello, everybody, and welcome to Homestead, Miami, Florida for the VRS Truck Series. Once again, for the Baptist Help 200 at the here in Southern Florida. Well, my name is Christian Delgado, your main producer and broadcaster, and then once again up in the booth tonight with us for HVTV is Gavin Austin. Gavin, how's your night been?
It's been good. I'm excited for the race in beautiful Florida tonight. A lot of fast trucks out there on track right now. Finishing up practicing pit stops, just qualifying long runs. But, a lot of fast drivers here tonight, and I'm excited to see how they will do. Kyle Sosnoski, currently top on the board in practice, was a podium finisher last week at Vegas, showing some speed early on here, and I'm excited to see what he can do in qualifying in just a few moments.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see, with the qualifying. Obviously, we had Las Vegas last week under, and obviously we addressed the elephant in the room with Las Vegas. A lot of cautions last week at our first, mile and a half track here at Homestead. Also, another mile and a half racetrack. We'll get more into the Homestead track facts and stuff later on in the broadcast, but a lot more different style track than you would see at Las Vegas with just the way the track is, right? A lot more maneuverability with the dynamic banking and everything else. So it's going to be, I feel like, a lot more interesting and a lot more different race than what we saw last week at Vegas.
Yeah, we'll see, drivers running every lane out here on track. We'll see a lot of drivers running up as close as they can be up on that outside wall to try to get, a big run on the exit. And, that's one of the fast lanes here at Homestead. And, you'll see people driving that inside, saving tires on that inside lane, but the top lane is super quick. And I'm excited to see how drivers will do and see how strategy goes. Are they going to go run the top for a whole run or a little bit both or on the inside? It all depends how they feel and how their tires are handling.
Well, I feel like once we talked about this last week a little bit too, coming into Homestead, and with this being an open set league, you have to go and look at, maybe some drivers are going to maybe set up their truck to run the bottom and save tires versus some that are going to maybe yaw out the truck a little bit to run the top a little bit better. Run that Larson line, as a lot of people like to call it. You see the 5 up there running the wall. You see the 11 up there running the wall. So that's something also that's going to be interesting to see throughout the race of how these drivers are going to set up, their trucks. So you see 11 stopping on pit route and taking that car to the pits. But also, while we're here, kind of have to address the elephant in the room. You don't see these beautiful paint schemes that we've seen all year through these first, 4 races. Creating paints, for people at home, these drivers just don't magically come in here with these paints on. You have to make the scheme obviously with your software and upload them to a website called trainingpaints.com, and that's how you get your schemes to show up in the sim and look presentable and look nice on the tracks. Trading Paints, posted on their website, posted on X that they had an update where they were trying to, update the DNS files, which has something to do with your connection to the actual server side, and made a mistake. And unfortunately, Training Paints is kind of down for everybody on the service except for a select few. I have heard some people talk about getting it working, but unfortunately, over here in the HVTV studios over here in Central Kansas, we did not get lucky enough to get the paints to work. So right now, for the rest of the broadcast, hopefully, Training Paints can get this sorted out as soon as they can. And I'm happy that they're pretty transparent about the whole situation. But for tonight, we're going to be running just the kind of generic paint builder schemes, which is fine. For considering the circumstances, still some pretty decent looking trucks.
Yeah, some of those trucks still look really well out there with the, basic iRacing paint builder. And, sadly, we don't get to see a lot of those, shiny, brilliant, nice looking schemes. But, that's not going to stop the drivers. It's not going to stop us. And, these drivers are, out there still driving the same truck they've been driving. So, we're not going to miss out on anyone here tonight. But qualifying here just started right now. Trucks rolling out on track to start off their laps. It's the number 61 machine, Patrick McPeak. coming out of pit road right now. Gonna see how he does in that Ford machine.
Remember, these drivers only get 1 lap to set this quick time, so I'm gonna pull up this qualifying ticker, a little bit more updated and up to spec to what we want here. So once again, thank you to Andrew Schulte and everybody over at SKS Graphics for their work on the ATVO tickers. But we're gonna go ahead and let Patrick McQueek do his thing here and set a lap. Obviously, you saw him getting to the wall there, trying to get as much speed up there, and you're gonna see him kind of rip the boards up here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, trying to rip the top, carry as much speed as he can on the exit. But like Christian mentioned, he did collect the wall on his outlap, entering turn 3 and 4. So that could have scrubbed off a little bit of speed going into his lap. But hopefully it doesn't affect him that much. Now rolling to the inside lane here in 3 and 4. Just missed it a little bit. But he is still carrying a lot of speed, and we'll see where this puts him. Patrick McPeak crosses the line. A 33.081 currently P2 at the moment with Xander Short on the pole currently.
You know what? On his going into 3 and 4 here, getting his lap.
Oh, he gets
sideways.
Loose. Oh my! Huge hit into the outside wall. That was Christian, I believe, setting up his lap. I don't know if he was on his lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, regardless of what was going on there, not what you want to do. In qualifying, obviously, track temp. Especially out of turn 4, if you take that bottom just in the wrong place, you can really do what he did there, get that rear end a little upset, and around you go. And it's really hard to, when you're trying to push like that, you can't really afford to lift. And when you don't lift, that's what you do occasionally, is kind of overcorrect and go straight for that outside wall.
Yeah, here's Gregory Valade in the number 11. I believe he's finishing his lap right here, so we'll see where that puts him. It looks to be a 32.636, which will put him right outside the top 5, possibly.
Yeah,
in
P6
sixth.
for that driver. Chris Davis in the 74.
There it is. Chris Davis showed a lot of speed in the past. I expect him to run, pretty fast out here tonight. We'll see how he sets up his lap and runs it. See those drivers just running the top, trying to carry as much speed as he can. Gets a little bit loose, but keeps it straight. Coming on to the front stretch to begin his lap, heading into 1 and 2. He's doing something a little bit different. We've seen a lot of the drivers run the outside lane in 1 and 2. He's out there running, the second lane. So I don't know if that's going to affect him any much or however the speed will differ, but we'll have to see at the end of this lap. But now going back to the inside in 3 and 4, all the way down there on that white line. It's a little bit loose, but keeps it straight. Doesn't look like he lost a lot of speed there, but coming to the line, Chris Davis in the number 74 machine. That's a 32.632. That will put him P9, so right inside the top 10. Not a bad lap. And he's out there currently in the top 10, so not a horrible lap by Chris Davis.
Oh, very respectful lap time for that number 74. 46 seconds left. And looking at Michael Sellers in the 24.
Yeah, Michael Sellers, 24 machine. I believe this is his first lap, or he's starting his lap right here, ripping the outside wall. Chris Davis, as high as he can be here, now on the backstretch. Seeing a lot of drivers going down all the way to the bottom in 3 and 4, but he's going to keep it on the top lane. See where that puts him. He's in the wall. I think he just brushed it, which will invalidate his lap, so I don't think that will count.
I'll see if it counts it. I mean, you can really... Oh, it will count it. P12 for Michael Saylor. So you can technically brush it a little bit. You gotta... If you barely get into it, there's occasionally where iRacing will allow you to grab it, and lucky for Michael, he's going to get that lap in. P12 for the number 24.
Yeah, great job by him. Cody Porter on the pole. He is an open truck. We saw those open drivers were really fast last week also in Vegas. And Cody Porter, my apologies, is on the pole for this race. Great job by him. Great lap with a 32.293, the only driver in the field to reach the twos. So great job by him. He will be starting in the front row.
And only 36 trucks on track. It looks like so. It looks like my seems to
Everyone
be,
makes
yeah,
it.
everybody makes it in. So all those open cars really didn't have to matter about qualifying speed or anything else. It looks like 36 trucks. Some of the full-time drivers decided that Homestead was just not a track they wanted to come to, and try to figure it out. So everybody gets in, including all the uncharted machines. So people like
Yep.
Jim Mott, who didn't really have the best lap, is gonna be able to come in here and race and try to compete for for a win here.
Yeah, and drivers are talking about the temperature change. We had qualifying, it was sunny out. It was a near sunset, approaching sunset, and this race is going to be starting the night. So the temp change, it's going to, completely change how these trucks are going to handle at this track. And, they got to, be prepared for that change and how these trucks are going to handle, and they kind of have to adapt to it. One thing I do want to, get out there, Boyd Hogan has won every race this season so far. He is not racing tonight. Once again, he is an open driver. It's only limited to do 5 races this season, and is not racing tonight. So we will have a new winner at the end of the night. And I'm excited to see who that will be here at Homestead.
Now it's going to be a new something, at least for this race, with Boyd not showing up. But let's go ahead and get your starting grid presented by HVTV going. Mathis, we saw him with that good lap. He's going to start P2, and your pole sitter Cody Porter, that open driver, he's going to start front row here. Running out row 2 is going to be Blake Roebuck and Kyle Sosnoski. Row 3, Jarrett Ferreira and Matthew D. Campbell. Gregory Velati with Richard Bunkley, P4. P5, Chris Davis, Ryan Taft. Josh Stolz and Michael Sellers, row 6. Keenan Kimber, Corey Ma is going to be row 7. Row 8, Jordan Slater, Adam Smith. We're trying to get this done before they go green here. Michael Deitch, William Ransone, row 9. Row 10, Winatsi Majors, Lucas Edwards. Row 11, Caleb Begg with Xander Short. And Sullivan Jolly, new driver to that. And Joe Gibbons, row 12. Looks like they did turn the lights back on the pace car. Thank you so much, race admins. Patrick McPeak, row 13, and Richard Myers, that number 77, is going to be
another open driver right there. Row 14, Noah Nicholson and Jim Mott, once again one of those open drivers in that number 5 machine. Row 15, Jeremy Tebon and Shajan Berryman in the 07. Row 16, Austin Runkle and Dominic Lee. Row 17, Nim Silva and Barry Kramer. Row 18, Aaron Longworth and Noah Hunt. And I believe that rounds out our field. So Noah Hunt is going to be charging from the back. We'll see where he will finish. But once again, we are getting ready to go green here at Homestead. And, man, I'm excited. Excited to see what these drivers in these trucks will be able to do.
Looking at your race analysis, 134 laps. Stages lap 30-60. 55-mile-an-hour pace speed. I don't think that's right. I think that's 45 mile an hour. And Dominic Lee, not allowed to qualify due to incident points. So he's going to be starting towards the back here. But pace car is going to take that hard left turn. And we're going to get ready to go green. As we're green here at Homestead, Miami. As well, we already have a huge wreck in the back.
Huge hit. I believe that was the number 4 machine in the back. We're still green at the moment. Still green with the leaders exiting turn 2. Man, all these trucks are just bunched up. The 17 machine of Chris Mathis finally takes the lead, entering turn 3 from the outside, moves down to the inside. 17 up to the lead, lap 1.
Yeah, we already saw Calamity on that first lap, and I mean that you could probably count that towards those cold tires. You know, with the new update, iRacing definitely, especially with these new track skins, they've definitely changed the way some of these new tracks have felt, and we already have 3 wide back here outside the top 10.
That driver who took that hard hit into the inside wall we saw in the back was Barry Kramer, the number 4 machine. It looks like near race any damage. I don't know if he'll be able to get his truck back out on track anytime soon, but we will have to pay attention and see if we see him out on the track later. But back to the race once again, 3 wide out there in turn 1 and 2 once again, nearly looking 4 wide, but heavy intense racing towards the mid pack right now, right outside the top 10. All racing as hard as they can now, entering turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's Keenan Kimber, Chris Davis, Corey Mott, you know, owner here, running one of his off-sites here in the truck. He was on number 54 Toyota truck, and there's still 3 wide here, trying to make up spots here. Obviously, this is something that you're going to see a lot with Homestead. I mean, it's really easy to be aggressive here and to try to make up spots early, and that's exactly what you need to do at the start of these races, and especially on the restarts. Try to make up these spots as soon as you can so you can kind of settle in before everybody gets single file.
While all of this is going on, Chris Mathis, our race leader, has been able to pull away a little bit of a lead, currently 7/10. Ran 3/10 faster than second place last lap. We'll see the distance between those two this time by, which still looks to be about 5/10, with the second place driver catching up just a little bit, but currently still Chris Mathis in the number 17 machine up front and leading.
Cody Porter went and sat on the pole, already dropped back to 5th place. I don't know if he just had a bad start, or maybe some of these drivers out here are pushing. He's just trying to save his equipment right now.
Yeah, you got to question, are these drivers saving or are these drivers pushing? I did see Chris Mathis ripping the wall a couple laps ago as hard as he could, and then he kind of adjusted back to the inside, thinking maybe to save his tires just a little bit, and that let Blake Roebuck in second place get a little bit of time back on Chris. So the saving tires definitely does come in question right about now during this time on lap 6.
Ryan Taft up here in 86. Pleasantly surprised to see him up here in the top 5. Saw him get a little sideways up there, so he's going to start to get a little bit of pressure from the 15 at Cody Porter. But pleasantly surprised to see that number 86 up there, trying to look at that number 16.
Yeah, going for that 3rd position now on the inside, side by side for 3rd place. See the top lane is just so much faster, and I think Ryan had to check up a little bit and let the 15 get up to that 4th position. And Ryan Taft now stuck on the outside back there, side by side for 5th.
Yeah, he's starting to fall back really quickly. It looks like that truck is surprisingly a little snug. Looks like you just can't get that thing rotated through the center. And especially at Homestead, you kind of do need that rotation through the center of the corner, but still have to keep it, under control enough to where you're not going to spin it out on exit like you saw in qualifying with like people like Noah Hunt did in qualifying, where you just kind of tried to push a little bit too hard and looped it around.
Top 2 breakaway, Chris Mathis, Blake Roebuck pulling away from the 3rd place driver of Kyle Sosnoski, who we saw very fast last week at Vegas. Kyle got a podium finish. Great job of him. He's looking to get an even better finish here at Homestead tonight. We'll see where that puts him, but currently a 2.5 seconds back from the leader, nearly 2. And man, these front 2 drivers are just pulling away, pushing as hard as they can. We still have Chris Mathis ripping the outside lane up front, and the 30 machine of Blake Roebuck's doing everything he can to try to catch up to him.
You have to think, I mean, these guys are doing everything they can to get away. I mean, you have these drivers that have these strategies of, I'm going to push as hard as I can out of the gate, try to get away, and kind of knowingly know that they're going to give up that tire, right? And know that they're just going to have to defend once those guys get up to them. Well, you also have people like, I'm going to assume Cody Porter back here in the 15, who gave up the lead, saw that those guys were pushing, and now sitting back here in the P4 spot, content, where he kind of is running right now, sitting behind the 16, and knows that if those guys keep continuing to push as hard as they are, he will get back to them. You know, obviously stage at lap 30, so not all the time in the world to get back up to there, but we're only at lap 10, so, and with how these trucks work, usually around lap 15, the lap 18 is where when you really start to see the tires start to shift towards some of these guys who save.
Yeah, so we'll really have to keep an eye out on Kyle and see if he can push forward towards that lead because Chris Mathis, Blake Roebuck, they just are fast right now. They are flying. It looks to be like they are pushing as hard as they can as they're really together kind of battling for the lead at the moment. Blake Roebuck gained some time on Chris Mathis, and they are fighting for that first position.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if when Blake gets to him, like officially gets to him, he still has a little bit of a little over a car length gap. If he gets to the 17, is he gonna, as we're gonna see now, will he fight him for this lead or will he sit there? Looks like he will try to take the bottom, and he
A little bit of a
might,
slide job.
and he will take the lead from that. Yeah, classic slide job from that number 30 machine, and he's gonna take the lead away from Chris Mathis.
New leader, number 4, or Ford Machine, and number 30, Blake Roebuck. Still really close battle though for first place. I think Chris Mathis will at least try to maybe come back and pass him, but Chris's tires, like we were talking about, might have just given out just a tiny bit here, but we will have to wait and see.
And they almost have a second and a half, almost 2 seconds to this, back of the pack. If I were those two, I'd almost kind of just sit in line and kind of push each other out instead of trying to, fight with each other to
Battle.
keep it, right? Yeah. I mean, you have a 2 second gap. If you guys can work with each other, I would try to do that and try to extend that gap as long as you can. But you saw Chris Mathis try to make a move there to not make it work. Blake did a really good job ripping the wall here. And now here comes the 17 on the top. I don't really think that's the line that's going to get him the lead here, but he really likes that top right now.
He's ripping it, ripping as close as he can be to the outside wall. He did get a huge run on the backstretch, but it's not going to be enough. Entering turn 3 as, whoa, it came kind of close entering the corner. Almost made contact for the race lead.
If he can figure out how to rip the wall there, I mean, that's going to be a good line maybe to run if he can save tires. I mean, a lot of drivers in real life and even on the sim said if you can run the wall properly, you actually save tires a little bit better than you do on the bottom. It's because naturally running the bottom, you do use up the right front because it's just you have to turn the wheel more, you have to get the car down there more. Versus on the top, if you can run it right, you're not turning the wheel as much, and as long as you're not abusing the right rear, does save a little bit more tire. And it looks like maybe the 17 trying to figure out how to do that. You see him barely getting to the ball there, but not enough to slow him down that much.
Blake is trying to keep that truck directly behind him. Blake was running the outside in turn 3 and 4. Just trying to keep that 17, right behind him, trying to give him that dirty air, or try to, keep that run from really coming and defending it. And, we're seeing a little bit of a battle here for the lead because of that.
Yeah, I don't think Blake is the most experienced running the top. It looks like the 17 maybe he's done his homework running the top. You see Blake trying to give him that dirty air and trying to block it, but not really running up on the boards like you need to if you're going to run the top like the 17 is. I mean, 17's doing a really good job doing what he needs to run the wall versus the 30 who's just trying to kind of defend. Maybe didn't do as much practice with that. And with that having said, you're starting to see, these three cars, start to get single file and start to slowly run these guys down. They were almost 2 seconds. Now Cody Porter has that down to a second and a half.
Yeah, and there, those 3 drivers right there, 3rd through 5th places. We have a car spinning in the back. Yellow is out. One car spinning sideways, stopped on the front stretch now. I'm not exactly sure who it is at the moment. I'm going to try to get a number. It is Munatsi Major in the number 23. I didn't know if there's maybe contact involved or what, but he managed to get around and might have had a little bit of contact with the inside wall. We're going to get a look at it real quick.
Going into turn 3 here. Makes it a pretty aggressive move on the 7 machine.
That looks bright blue 23 machine.
Oh, some contact. It looks like the 7 actually gets loose. And just trying to catch it, comes down the track. Gets the 23.
Just brushes the wall. That's kind of like what we saw Christopher Bell do in the cup race this weekend. Got sideways out of turn 4 and just brushed that inside wall. Yeah, Munatsi Major, just wrong place, wrong time. Really couldn't do anything there.
Yeah, you see the 71 just get a little upset out of turn 4. You're going to see that throughout the race here, especially on those old tires. That's the 71 and Noah Nicholson getting a little upset. He's going to store the 23, and I mean, kind of best case scenario for that 23. It doesn't look like he hit that wall too hard.
Yeah, I mean, great job keeping the truck locked down and, slowing it down.
Yeah.
Well, leaders staying out for stage points. We have a couple trucks in the back pitting for some fuel and tires, but mostly everyone is staying out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. I mean, when we go green here, we'll be going green with what, 7, 8 to go. And I'm interested to see what these guys that aren't the front two can do. Obviously, these two leaders did not want to see that caution because they already kind of used their stuff up trying to get away, and now everybody's going to be right back on them. The 15, the 16, and the two machines, Andrew Schwartz. Obviously, we saw him run really well at Las Vegas last week, using up one of his truck rides here at Homestead.
Ooh, huge penalty for a second place driver. The number 17 is given an end of line penalty. I don't know if maybe he had a cone violation or what, but not only the 17 but also the 16 of Sosnoski, our fourth place driver. So major penalties. We're gonna see them drop now to the back. That is our second and fourth place driver. That is huge. I mean, that's something. I mean, they're right there at the front.
Yeah, Kyle, I feel like that hurts Kyle a lot more because Kyle was in a really good position to get some really good stage points, and with the way he played out the first part of the race, kind of saving his stuff, and was really in a good spot to pounce there, versus the 15 who probably was gonna. I mean, not the 15, the second place driver who was probably gonna lose a couple spots with just the way they looked like they were using their tires, but. As we saw the choose cone, you see the 30 of Roebuck pick the inside, and the Toyota in that number 15, that's Cody Porter. He's going to pick the top here, so that's going to be a front row. Ford Toyota front row.
Yeah, those are two open drivers, open trucks in the top three of Cody Porter and Xander Short. Xander Short was managed to get a podium finish last week at Vegas. He was very fast up front the entire race. I'm excited to see what he'll be able to do this restart. Maybe fight up, go to the lead some laps. Excited to see, but like Christian mentioned, Ford Toyota front row, and we got Ford locked out in that second lane, second row, as the pace car getting ready to hook a hard left on the pit road, and we are going back green with just a few laps left in stage one.
We get ready to get into the Geico restart zone. We'll be back green with 8 to go, going to stage one.
Blake Roebuck, great start by him on the inside. Managed to jump up to the outside and get a really good entry. Entering turn 1 and 2. But look at Xander Short charging up the inside lane side by side for second. He's trying to get up to the front, but the outside lane just gets a huge run on exit. He's going to be able to pull away just a little bit. Entering turn 3 and 4.
You see, 3 wide for the lead. You see the 15 in the middle. Xander Short on the bottom trying to take advantage, but they're squeezing each other down there.
Ooh. Still 3 wide coming to the line. 3 wide for the lead. Looks like Blake is going to get that lap, but he's stuck on the outside. He's going to be ripping the walls in a short way on the inside. Still 3 wide in turn 1 and 2, now exiting onto the backstretch.
Some great race for the lead. Still 3 wide out of 2 going down the backstretch, and this just shows right here how dynamic the track is here at Homestead, Miami. You can use whatever you want and make it work. If you still see the 15 trying to squeeze the 2 down.
It's going to be able to clear the 30 here. Going to be able to clear the 2 also. Now back side by side for second. And that leaves Cody Porter, one of our open drivers, gets up to the lead in that 15 machine with just 6 laps left in the stage.
Side by side for second place. You can see the 2 clear the 30. I just really don't see the top being the way to go, like maybe in a cup car. I just feel like these trucks are so bogged down that I feel like the bottom, just going the shorter way around the track, is probably going to be the best bet, but you're going to see Xander try to run the top. Going to get a good run off the corner. Side by side into the wall. He's going to clear the 30 once again.
Cody wants these drivers behind him to stay side by side. That's just going to let the 15 pull away. But doesn't look like it's going to happen. You see Xander Short kind of blocked the 30 on the inside lane. Coming out to the backstretch now. Cody Porter still leading out in front.
The battle back here for the P5 position. That's Matthew Campbell, Josh Stoles. Josh Stoles having a good run. Obviously not the best run at Vegas, getting caught up in Silver Rex, but we know he's quick. We know he's going to be a competitive driver throughout the season. Just, wrong place, wrong time, almost in really every situation last week. But you see that number 99 back there in the P6 spot.
5 laps to go now. So you see Xander Short doing everything he can to get up to Cody Porter. Those are 2 open drivers once again, the top 2. Doing everything they can. They want this stage win. They are battling. Xander Short doing everything he can to get up to the 15 machine and trying to pass him. Well, this is all happening. We still have 3 wide action right outside the top 10. They're all racing. They're trying to get some stage points.
Yeah, this is where the racing is going to really be. The stage points are so crucial here in this, new era of NASCAR with the stage points and the stages and everything else. And you're going to see everybody fighting it out as hard as they can to even get that extra stage point. I mean, that's huge when you can, when you have 2 stages, that's a big opportunity for some of these drivers.
Yeah, still out front, Cody Porter, though. Kind of pulling away from Xander Short little by little, but Xander Short still hanging on as whoa, we have a wreck in the back. 1 car sideways, multiple cars sideways now. Yellow flag is out on the front straightaway. Saw around 3, maybe 4 trucks involved. We have debris kind of flying over all around the track. Gregory Valid, one of the trucks involved, Corey Mott. We see him, heavy front right damage there on that truck. I'm gonna try to see exactly what happened. The HBTV replay.
Yeah, and a huge crash. I'll injure stage. It looks like Corey Mott just gets a little loose.
Sideways, tries to save it.
Tries to save it. Goes on the outside wall and just nowhere to go for some of these trucks. You see, what is that, the 71?
The 87.
87 with the huge shake.
Barely squeezed through there, I think.
See the 71, kind of just collect some guys just trying to get through the wreck. And unfortunately, kind of self-spins trying to get around the 54 a lot and just nowhere to go for for a lot of these drivers. You see the 11 of Velati. It looks like he's got some type of damage. You see that right rear spinning and not going anywhere on that.
Stuck. There he is.
He's getting going once again, but huge wreck here, and that's going to end your stage, I believe. The Cody Porter going to win stage 1, Xander Short P2, and Blake Roebuck are going to be the top 3 in stage 1.
They're going to be pitting. Fuel, tire, strategy. They are going in right here.
Yeah, but
most of our drivers pitting. Jarrett Fiera stays out. Maybe for that stage win.
Yeah, I mean, technically, the stage...
It's not over.
It's not over. I think it's the completion of 30. So he can definitely go in there. I'm not sure how they're going to account this, but if that is the case, he's going to definitely go out there, go out there. I guess what he'd do is go out there, lead that lap under pacing. Wow.
Ooh, near contact.
Very close for the 30 machine. He's going to go out there, lead that lap, and then take the penalty for coming in in the close pits, right? Because
it might be open, possibly if you stay out. Actually, wait, no, it will be closed. So it will just be an end of line penalty.
Yeah, so he might come in here, steal a stage win, take the EOL, and try to run his way back up to the field. Yeah, I mean, 10 points in that playoff point going into the playoffs if he gets there, right? That's gonna be huge. We'll see if he comes down and does not come down pit road.
He has to cross the line first. Finish.
Oh yeah,
lap
he does.
30.
He does have to win the stage. That is correct.
And they will delay the yellow, I believe. Possibly.
That is the choose.
I think they do.
And Garrett will win stage 1. Patrick McPeak, P2 in stage 1. So those two drivers trying to do something a little cheeky here. lets her off on a pace truck. I mean, these guys do have 11 laps on their tires, so it's not the end of the world if they decide to stay out. But obviously, fresh tires is going to very much prevail over even 10-lap old tires here in these trucks.
Here it is. Pace lights back on the pace car. We're going to allow these two trucks up front go into pit road, and that will cycle out to the 15-17, bringing us to the green.
So we'll see if these two decide to come down pit road. I presume that would be the case. That's why I presume they delayed the caution. Obviously, I do not have I don't have the ears of the admins in my ears. Obviously, Gavin probably can hear that from another point of view, but no. Still not coming down pit road.
I don't know. I guess they're, try to save their tire set and, maybe stay out. Try to see how those old tires can do, but number 65, Keenan Kimber, an end-of-line penalty for choose cone violation, so he will be going towards the rear end of the field.
Well, while we have a little bit of time, let's go through your track facts presented by Delta Designs. Thank you over to Andres Varez for all the help here on the HVTV side. Go over and if you're looking for any graphics designs work, any paint scheme work, anything else like that, go over there and message them over on Twitter at Delta Eagle 7 over on X or Twitter, whichever you prefer. But you see 20 degrees of banking up in the corners, and slanting all the way down to 18 degrees. Obviously, Homestead with this dynamic banking in the corners makes the racing obviously really good. As you saw there, 4 degrees in the Trialville, obviously 1.5-mile track here in Homestead, Florida. Once again, thank you to Delta Designs for sponsoring the track fact portion of this broadcast.
I'm excited to see how these front two drivers will do, and I wonder if they can maybe hold up these drivers behind them just a little bit, or if they're gonna fall straight to the back. I'm excited to see those tire difference with just over 10 laps. A difference. But anyways, Chevy Ford front row, we are back green. Jarrett, huge jump on the inside, managed to clear the outside lane pretty quick, entering turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, man. We'll see if these guys get eaten up pretty quick. You already see the 61 of McPeak.
Oh, I believe Xander Short, that number 2 machine, just got sideways, entering turn 1 and 2. Huge hit into the outside wall. To the back he goes.
And he's already way back in 25th, 26th now. Wow, what a...
Really fast. He was up there in that 5th position, or 6th position. The 61 is now on the outside wall.
And McPeak, obviously on those old tires, not going to drive the best, trying to stay out of the way the best he can. Obviously, he sacrificed good tires for that stage win in the track position, and obviously we're already starting to see now that maybe the tires were the best move to go, but he's going to have to try to limp this thing around the best he can. Probably the top is not the best for these old tires. You start already see him 4 wide going into turn 3.
All this battling is allowing one of our drivers who stayed on old tires kind of pull away in the race lead. Pulling away from Chris Mathis little by little, but Chris Mathis doing everything he can to try to charge back up to that lead. I'm surprised, those tires are holding up as much as it is.
Yeah, maybe Jarrett did a good job saving those tires. He's only got 10 laps on them, so if he's pushing hard now, I could see him maybe at least maintaining the gap, but you're going to start to see him fall back into the clutches of the 17 and the 15, even maybe the 30 of Blake Roebuck back there in P4. He's already starting to see the 17 already back up on the boards and starting to slowly reel in your race leader.
Yes, we have a battle for 3rd place. Side by side for 3rd, Cody Porter and Blake Roebuck. 2 fast drivers we saw up front earlier on in this race. They're doing everything they can, battling for that 3rd position.
Blake's going to clear the 15, take over that P3 position. And looks like single file right now, but you already see the 17. He's there already. Going to try to pounce on this Chevy for the race lead.
Yeah, Chris Mathis was 0.2 faster than our race leader that last lap. Managed to catch up right to his rear bumper did not make the pass, but we'll see entering turn 1 and 2 nearly side by side. 17's going to try to get a run as he's in the wall now. That's going to slow him down a lot. Now he'll be side by side for second place. Allows Blake Roebuck to get up there.
Yeah, Blake's going to take advantage of that mistake. Going to be side by side in the 1 and 2. We've seen Blake run in the bottom, doing it pretty well. He's going to try to make this slide drop work, and he will.
He's there. Blake Roebuck up to second. The 17 might return it, and he's going to go to the inside lane here into turn 3 and 4 now.
And 17's going to use the bottom to try to repass the 30. He had a good run from the top, from the 1 and 2. Going to try to make the pass work. Not going to do it.
Still side by side. Aggressive racing as one car sideways out of turn 4. He keeps it straight, though. Head to the rear end. Not exactly sure who that was, but managed to keep it straight. We're still green, but all this racing, Jarrett's enjoying it. He gets to stay in the lead a little bit longer.
I was about to mention that with these guys on fresh tires trying to get up to him, they're battling and using their stuff up. It's allowed this number 600 machine to at least maintain the lead now. But here comes the number 30. He's gonna probably try to make it look here in the next couple corners.
Side by side for third, side by side for the lead. Blake Roebuck looks to nearly be cleared. Just barely clears the 600 truck. Blake Roebuck to the lead. And Adam Smith makes his way up to the third position now, fighting for that second position on the inside of that 600 truck.
Adam Smith up 14 positions now, trying to battle for that P2 spot. Great run for this number 21 and trying to make a move, looking to the bottom. Going to try to get around this number 600 on the old tires.
I mean, Jarrett's done a phenomenal job, you know, being able to hold on this long on those old tires. I mean, I got to give props to him. I mean, he's managed to stay up front, still in that third position, now back side by side with the 17 machine of Chris Mathis. But huge props to Jarrett for hanging on that long on those older tires.
I mean, you look at the driver who stayed out with them, Patrick McPeak. He's already back in the 12th place.
As we have a yellow flag. Not exactly.
Oh, that's the 81 around.
What it's for. The 81 machine ends. I believe there's maybe Chris Davis was involved. No, not Chris Davis. But another truck was around with the 81 machine. I believe, yeah, Richard Myers in the 77 machine, as we see on the replay.
Yeah, it looks like the 77 just gets up under the wall. And I don't know what's going on with the 19. That's Dominic Lee. He had a penalty at the start of the race. He wasn't allowed to qualify due to too many incident points, and comes up and he's gonna grab the 77 and nowhere to go for the 81.
Huge hit for the 81 and 77, and yeah, 81 just wrong time to be in that position right there, because he couldn't do anything. I don't know exactly, what. I don't know exactly what the 19 machine, maybe Dominic Lee thought he was clear and decided to come up, and looking at it from a different angle, Dominic Lee was clear on the outside, and as soon as he went up the track, the 77 got in the wall, which slowed him down, and which kind of caused that. I mean, that was honestly horrible timing for the 77, 19, and 81. All three of those trucks were involved in that wreck. I mean, nothing they could do. I mean, it was just really bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the bad thing about that, right? Is sometimes that's just really, really unlucky timing, right? It looks like Dominic was just trying to get behind the 77, and as that happened, 77 hits the wall, and when you hit the wall, you slow down, right? So looking at it from that different angle, it looks like maybe not meant to happen, but we'll see how the admins review that, because with that involving the 19. The 19 was already, you know, given a penalty for being involved. He wasn't allowed to qualify this race and was told that, like, hey, if you cause another caution, you're going to be suspended for a race. So I'm interested to see what the admins are going to think about that. Didn't look intentional. Just looked like kind of a, you know, really a racing deal, right? He was trying to get back in line, try to play it safe, and unfortunately just wrong place, wrong time for that number 19.
Juice Gone, Blake Roebuck chooses the inside lane. That allows Adam Smith to get up on the outside lane up front. We'll see how they do. Will be a Ford Chevy front row, the 30 and the 21. Right behind them, the Chris Mathis and the 17 machine and Cody Porter.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this 30 machine. You know, he showed a lot of speed at Vegas, and now you see him showing a lot of speed here at Homestead. And we didn't really get to hear a lot about what he thought his season was going to be like in the preseason with the Crown Jewel Media Day, but very impressed with this 30 machine. Throughout the whole season, really, even in the 16 having a good season as well, showing speed throughout the whole week. And then you have some people who have kind of flown under the radar. Look at the 21, you know, front top of the boards here on the top side, really showing what he can do here at Homestead.
We're gonna go green with just 15 laps left in the stage. Can have these front drivers racing for that stage win. Pace car hooks a hard left on the pit road, Ford versus Chevy, and we are back green here at Homestead in stage 2. Blake Roebuck got a really good restart. Managed to jump, you know, I mean, far away from the field. I mean, the second lane didn't get a good restart, and Blake was able to pull away from Chris Mathis a little bit.
And Mathis with some help from the 21 trying to get around him for that P2 spot. You have the 15 of Cody Porter gonna try to make some moves to get up into that P4 spot. We'll get around the 16 of Sosnoski. Now that number 16 back to P5.
As the 21, see him out there, side by side for second, ripping the outside lane. Chris Mathis still not clear. They're going to be side by side on the backstretch, and entering turn 3, 21, still side by side with the 17.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that maybe that outside can work for the first couple laps, but you can use it to maybe pass and get around maybe for the first, you know, 5, maybe 10 laps, and then you really just have to start to get down to the bottom. You saw some of the guys who kind of ripped the wall, get up there, make some time up there, and then as they stayed up there, they started to fall back. So I'm starting to think that maybe that top is only good while you have those good cold tires, and then you got to get back down. You saw the 16 just make a pass on the 17 now side by side for that P3 spot.
Kyle Sosnoski, podium finish last week at Vegas. Very fast. They're going to finish even better here, but he's going to clear for that third position now, charging on. Going to try to get up to the lead here. Has to make his way up past Adam Smith first. He was very fast.
You saw him lose the nose there in the 1. Had to kind of chase it up the track.
Kind of looks like he was going to go to the inside and then kind of changed his mind last minute.
It's going to lose him a little bit of time to your top 2, but still securely in that P3 spot. You're going to see the 17. Have to get some pressure from the 15 of Cody Porter trying to make his way back up here into the top 5.
Yeah, I was looking side by side for that 4th position in turn 3 and 4, but now back single file. But look at this. Adam Smith managed to catch back up to Blake Roebuck. See him running the outside lane, and Blake has just been very strong on the inside. Has been able to keep up on speed, and I mean he's the only one who's really been running the inside in 1 and 2, and you know has been strong with it. I mean he's been looking very good running the inside lane. Look at Kyle Sosnoski on that inside lane in turn 3 and 4. Huge run inside the corner, and he's up there to the rear bumper of Adam Smith.
Now you see the 16 run the top in 1 and 2 now. It looks like he's likes the top in 1 and 2, but likes the bottom in 3 and 4. You see a lot of drivers who will do that, right? Run the wall in one corner and then run that white line down in another. It just depends on how that truck is set up. You're going to see that 16 drive all the way down to the white line here in 3 and 4. Going to be side by side with the 21.
Might be able to clear him. No, just maybe. I mean, they were really, really like. I mean, he was sending it in. He wanted to get in front of him. Wasn't able to do it though. Look at him now though.
See the 16 drive it in really deep to get that kind of slider move gone, and now a crossover by the 21. Now side by side.
Side by side for that second position. Entering turn 3, we have the 16 on the outside, who's been running the inside in turn 3 and 4. Kind of flips places with the 21. The 21, huge send, looking side by side for the lead. He's going to be able to file back in that second position in front of the 16.
16 looking to the bottom again, now side by side once again for the P2 spot, going into 1 and 2.
Blake Roebuck going down gonna chop off the 16 a little bit. 16 looking to clear the 21, and man, that was close. Was able to just clear him I mean a nose. I mean, that was really close.
I mean, that's just respectful racing. The 21 could have definitely put that 16 in a bad spot, but you saw him kind of lift out of it. Give 16 a room, obviously long race, but obviously you're still racing for the stage win. Now going 6 to go here in stage 2.
Yeah, they want this stage win. They want these points, and Kyle Sosnoski wants to get up to the lead. He's doing everything he can, ripping the outside lane in 1 and 2, and going back to the bottom in 3 and 4. And Blake's doing the opposite. I mean, he's running the inside in 1 and 2 and ripping the top in 3 and 4 is what he's been doing. Look at them switching places now. Blake Roebuck ripping the inside lane, nearly the white paint. Doing a great job down there.
Yeah, I think what Blake was trying to do was trying to block that 16's line, give him the dirty air, and the 16 just ended up running the top in 3 and 4. And
now they're side by side for second.
Yeah, exactly.
Now third.
Kind of the top 2nd through 5th now starting to find each other. This is exactly what that 30 wants to see, seeing them battle for the second place spot. And with all that, you're starting to see Jarrett
he's
come
hanging
back
on
into the picture with those old tires. He's starting to come back and start to make a battle here.
I mean, that's huge. That is huge for him. He's going to be able to get some good stage points if he stays in that position he's in right there. Now side by side up to that 4th position now, right behind that battle for second. Man, this battling behind is just letting Blake Roebuck pull away, and he likes this battling. And the more they are side by side, the further he kind of pulls away. And currently it's about 6, maybe 7 car lengths the difference, but side by side still for second. Look who it is, Jarrett up to second on those old tires.
Yeah, that's I mean, very impressive. I mean, you saw him kind of, and that's almost A+ tire management right there. You saw these guys up there battling to try to get up to the 30, using their stuff up, and you saw the 600 kind of just sit there, kind of mind his own business, and now got around all 3 of them, and
up the lead.
Yeah, and he's about to catch your race leader here with 10 lap older tires.
Wow, I mean, tire management to the finest. He has proven everyone that I mean, man, I did a great job saving. Look at, he's right there on the rear end of the 30 machine with just 3 laps to go left in this stage. I mean, he's here. He's gonna battle for the stage win. They're on the inside, side by side for the lead here at Homestead with just 3 laps to go in stage 2. Ooh, it's going to clear him just barely. Wow.
30 with a crossover.
Side by side, still in turn 3 and 4. This time the 600 on the outside. Ooh. 30 gets a little bit of loose, nearly makes contact.
At the lift out of it.
Back up to the race lead with 2 laps to go here left in the stage.
What a job by Jarrett to race him clean, pinch him down, force the 30 to back out of it. I mean, and that's also really respectful racing. Blake could have definitely used up the 600 there, but you saw him lift and like give him the spot, right? Obviously, we're not even halfway done with the race, so really smart from the 30, really respectful racing out of these, really this top 6.
Jarrett coming to take the white flag for stage 2 here, starting to pull away from the 30. Tire management to the finest from this 600 truck. I mean, he now has 7 car length lead, which, I mean, he was just 6 laps ago back there in 5th. But here it is, back onto the backstretch, still pulling away from that second machine. He has it locked if he just doesn't make any mistakes here in turn 3 and 4.
He's got that number 600 locked and loaded. I think it's a rocket ship coming up here. Coming out of 3 and 4. He's going to win stage 2.
Green and white checkered flag waving. Jarrett Fiera, our stage 2 winner here at Homestead. Got Blake Roebuck. Got second. Adam Smith, third. Kyle Sosnoski, fourth. And Cody Porter in fifth.
And you really saw that top 5 kind of stay the same. Michael Sellers coming up there with that P6 spot. Nazi Majors with a really good comeback after getting caught up.
Take a spin.
Yeah. Getting caught up in that first caution of the night. Up here in the top 10. So good recovery from him. And look at that. No damage on that truck as well. So, I mean, kind of a disastrous first start of the race to now, a top 10 and then stage 2.
Yeah, great job of him. Now, this is, I mean, if we stay green, have a long enough run, we're going to have to see green flag pit stops. And we saw drivers in practicing their green flag pit stops. It's such a weird pit entry here at Homestead. I mean, you're flying in turn 3 and 4. You got to slow it down. And the pit entry is right there out of turn 4 really quick. You have to go to the inside, slow it down, back it down. And we've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes going on a pit road, get sideways and spin. And, these drivers, a lot of them were practicing in practice. And, I'm excited to see if we do get to that point, how these drivers are going to handle that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the more difficult pit roads to get down because, like as Gavin said, it kind of sneaks up on you sometimes, and you got to be prepared for that. So if you didn't practice doing a green flag pit stop during practice, or maybe doing it after you got done with qualifying, it's gonna really be difficult for some of these drivers to figure out where they can brake and where they can make up time in pit road.
Here's the race off pit road. Jarrett's going to keep the lead, and was a really close battle for that third position. I believe Blake Roebuck got it by a nose, so Cody Porter came out fourth.
Now you talk about tire management. This is the part of the race where this is really going to come into play, where you're not going to get a guaranteed caution, right? So imagine if there wasn't a caution there for that stage. I mean, looks like Jarrett had an opportunity to run away with it. And if we go green here and he does the same thing he did, in stage 2, I mean, you're looking at maybe a favorite to come out here and win this race.
Yeah, he's been strong all race long. I mean, I'm excited to see what he will do. I mean, he's starting up in first, 600 machine, and on new tires, and I'm just excited to see how he will handle it. See him maybe, let these drivers around him kind of race a little bit aggressive. Maybe he'll just stay back, try to save those tires, and come back later in the run. And I'm just excited to see how he will do. I know, Christian, do you know the fuel, laps these trucks have?
I believe on our race analysis we have this up here. It looks like about 45 to 50 laps.
50.
So, yeah, I would say about 40 to 55-ish is probably the fuel range.
Got about one stop left.
Yeah, so if you play it out right, you should be able to do it on one stop here. So, it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is going to be like. Do you split it in half? Do you maybe get to the fuel mark and then go as soon as you can, or do you try to, wait it out? I mean, you can go probably until lap 105, maybe 110 if you fuel save a little bit. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But you see the pace car take the hard left turn off, and Chevy front row 621 Adam Smith, Ferreira. We're back green here for the start of stage 3.
That inside line has just been so strong. We saw it was even strong last week at Vegas. They just get such a better start, and those front 2 trucks on the inside lane pull away from the outside lane. That's Jarrett gets really loose in turn 2. Lets the 30 get to his inside now, side by side for the race lead.
Yeah, Blake been really aggressive on these starts, trying to take the lead away as quick as he can. We saw this at the start of the race where he tried to, in a way, kind of use his stuff up to get away. He's going to clear the 60. 60 is going to sit in line, but now 3 wide for P5.
Look at that, 3 wide, entering turn 1 and 2.
Looking 4 wide
very
almost.
Close racing. Yeah, pushing 4 wide. Still 3 wide on the exit between, I believe that's the 15 truck in the middle. Yeah, Sosnoski on the outside. A little bit of contact with William Ranson on the bottom.
And man, everybody's racing each other super tight right here.
Kyle in that middle lane went all the way down to the inside, tried to get on the side of Michael Sellers. Look at that. Now back side by side for the race lead. Adam Smith to the inside of Blake Roebuck. Blake Roebuck now 3 wide in the middle with the 17 on the outside.
What a move by the 21. He's going to clear by a good margin here while everybody else is 3 wide for that P2 spot.
Look at Chris Mathis margin up. Second position at the moment. He's going to get a huge run onto the front straightaway. Maybe fight for that race lead as he's going to make the move on the front straightaway, side by side, back for the lead. Chris Mathis on the inside, entering turn 1 and 2.
And he's probably one of the best at getting up there and ripping the wall at the start of this race, and takes advantage of the tires using the top.
Clear the 21.
And he will clear for this race lead. Here comes the 21. Another crossover, side by side in the 3 and 4.
Very aggressive. Good racing up front for the race lead, but right behind them you see the 600 and the 30 machine and some trucks behind just staying single file, maybe seeing this racing up front, and they're like, okay, these guys are burning up, racing aggressive. Let them burn their stuff up, and let's just relax and pass them later on with tire strategy.
That's something you just saw out of the 600. He had to run and lifted, right? Stayed back there in that P3 spot. Looks like, I mean, this is textbook definition of just trying to keep your equipment underneath you, not trying to use up your tires too quickly. I mean, and not only that, he still has the track position with the same tires as everybody else. He doesn't have that obstacle of trying to save 10 lap older tires. He's right there in that P3 spot, and he's going to probably do a good job trying to save those tires the best he can.
Yeah, Chris Mathis, though, still out front, pulling a little bit from that second position. Adam Smith, not too far, about 2 truck lengths the difference. Chris Mathis was running that bottom lane in turn 1 and 2 and doing the same in 3 and 4. Here comes Adam Smith with a huge run, though. Looks like he's going to lose it a little bit on exit, but he's there. I mean, he's still there for the lead.
You saw the 21 kind of stall out there at a 3 and 4. That's going to allow Mathis to keep it. But yeah, everybody's starting to get a little bit single file, trying to figure out where they want to be and where they want to run. See a blinker back there. I think that's the 01 of Bunkley.
Side by side for the race lead, though. Adam Smith to the inside of Chris Mathis. Adam Smith doesn't look like he's going to be able to clear the 17 on exit. 17 in the wall. Slows down the 17 into the 21. Will be able to clear, and that allows the 600 to get to the inside of the 17 here in turn 1 and 2.
And that's that's the, you know, the risk you take going up there and ripping the walls. You can overstep the truck just that little bit, and you get up into the wall, and you're going to see now, I mean, that cost them a lead and potentially going to cost them this P2 spot.
Yeah, you see that Jarrett ripping that inside lane. The 17 running that wall is going to be able to clear the second place position. Now fighting back for the race lead. He's going to go all the way back down to that inside lane. Our race leader, Adam Smith, is running the second lane.
You start to see this front four start to kind of pull away from the rest of the pack here. You see the 30 Roebuck kind of sitting back there in P4, just kind of lurking. Watching these guys battle, kind of the same thing that the 600's doing. Just kind of sitting back, trying to save his equipment, and not ready to pounce yet to try to take this lead away.
Yeah, Adam Smith doing a great job leading the field right now. Been fast all day. Saw him pushing a little bit, but looks like he's controlling his tires at the moment. And, you know, we have a 4-truck breakaway. I think those top 4 realize that they're breaking away, and they're like, all right, let's stay single file for a second here. Be able to pull away even more from the 5th place driver of Kyle Sosnoski.
The 17, the only driver electing to kind of run that top line,
He's
but
gonna make the
still,
move.
yeah, 17 on the bottom. He's going to try to make the move here in 1 and 2. See the 21 try to rip the top here.
Doesn't look like he'll be able to clear him. They're going to be side by side here on the backstretch. 17 leaving a lot of room for the 21 machine.
Side by side once again going into 3 and 4. I think the 17 is going to be there.
Admin's figuring out blinking issues with the 01 machine of Richard Bunkley back in 6th. Side by side back in 2nd, though.
Yeah, I think Bunkley has a big cause of why this front pack, that second pack is not catching up. I've been noticing in the background, you've seen that truck blinking in and out, and as someone who's raced with blinkers and has blinked before, right, it's really difficult to race really closely and competitively around someone who's blinking in and out. I mean, it's just so hard to gauge of where you can go and where that other driver is. So I think he does have a little bit of the cause of why these front four have started to break away from the rest of the field.
Jarrett makes his way up to that 2nd position. Chris Mathis falls back to 3rd. Blake Roebuck still kind of watching everything happening in front of him. Still, the only truck running the outside is Chris Mathis. Everyone else running the inside. Now back side by side for that 3rd position. Blake Roebuck on the inside.
17 in the wall once again. But he's going to clear the 30 for that to keep the P3 spot. Going to go up there, rip the boards again. Side by side for this P3 spot.
Close racing up front. All this is happening. Adam Smith and Jared, I mean, they're running very similar times. No one's really gaining, no one's really losing. They're about even at the moment. It really comes down to strategy and tire saving later on in this run. We'll see who, kind of, saves the best.
I feel like the top four have done a pretty decent job at, maintaining their car, maintaining the pace while you see guys like Kyle Sosnoski and Munatsi Major who have kind of been forced to race up here into this, 5th and 6th position. And then we see a battle for the 6th place spot. Cody Porter going underneath the 23.
Yeah, still, very close battle for that 3rd place position. Blake Roebuck still choosing to run the inside lane and just is not able to get around Chris Mathis, who's still ripping the outside. These top 4 trucks are all really about even. No one's really, gaining or losing.
See a battle outside the top 10 here. William Ransone, Caleb Begg, Josh Stolz, Keenan Kimber. A little pack of 4 up here, right outside the top 10.
Very close race. So we see the 23. I believe that's the 15 that makes a move to the inside. Gonna be side by side. I believe that's for the 6th position. Still side by side onto the backstretch.
15 just can't get around the 23 quite yet, but he's going to use that slide job to see if he can get around him on the bottom. Not quite clear.
Well, this is going on. Kyle right in front of them pulling ahead just little by little. Longer they're side by side. See how close they're getting up to that wall. Very, very interesting. As whoa, sideways. Cody Porter got a little bit sideways out of turn 2. Managed to keep it straight. Side by side for 2nd. Chris Mathis to the inside of Jarrett. Jarrett will clear him. Go back single file here. It's like the top 3. Chooses to run the outside.
And you're starting to see the 21 pull a little bit away compared to what we were seeing before. I think 600 still just not ready to go yet. As you see the 17 all up the tailgate of the 600 and trying to make a move, but they're doing a really good job kind of blocking the 17's lane. You're starting to see the 30 actually start to lag back a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of a top three, a little bit of a breakaway here, but Adam Smith pulling away from the two trucks behind him, Jared and Chris Mathis, who are currently side by side. Adam Smith brushed the wall a little bit there on exit of turn 2, but didn't slow him down really at all. Just a little bit of slight contact or race leader with the outside wall.
I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like Chris is almost trying a little bit too hard to try to get around this driver, and
it's almost slowing them both down.
Yeah, slowing them both down. It's allowing Adam to get away, and Adam's not really pushing this truck that hard, it looks like, but just been able to kind of maintain this gap, and that's all he's doing is maintaining the gap. He's not trying to pull away. He's just trying to maintain a gap here while these guys are still side by side.
Yeah, still side by side in turn 3 and 4 here. Chris Mathis looking to clear the 600 truck, and he does. He's blocking on the front straightaway.
Yeah, these guys have to sort this out. They cannot continue to go side by side if they want to try to get up there and chase this leader down. And you see the 600 just kind of give up the spot here. Blake Roebuck under fire, though, by the 16.
Adam Smith likes what he's seen in his mirror.
Oh, the 17 is up into the wall.
He's going to possibly fall back to 4th. I mean, Blake Roebuck's right there. And talk about a comeback. Kyle Sosnoski, our driver who's in 5th, making it 3 wide for that 4th position or 3rd position now.
Oh, man, 17
on the inside, he's going to clear them.
The 17 is handling it just completely gone away in these last couple laps. Trying to hold on now, going side by side now with the 16 for the P3 spot.
Kyle Sosnoski, though, great job getting up to, battling for that 3rd position now. We saw him, was kind of back there, wasn't really gaining, kind of lost the top 3 or top 4, and now he's up there in the top 3. He's looking to charge up to 2nd now on the inside of Jarrett.
Side by side out of turns 3 and 4. 1 and 2, my apologies. Gonna clear the 600.
So now it comes down to it. Is Kyle going to be able to catch Adam Smith in the 21 machine, who has over a 2nd lead right now on the 2nd place driver? We'll see. Difference between the two is just over a 2nd. Kyle Sosnoski doing a great job, but he's also having to worry. The 17 still trying to battle him. I mean, the 17 is trying everything he can to just, be really as quick as he can. I mean, he's racing as hard as that truck can really go.
You can definitely tell he's pushing the truck the hardest out of everybody. You see him yawing the truck out, up into the wall again. I mean, he's definitely putting 110% in right now to at least keep the track position that he gained, pushing that truck. And
Kyle Sosnoski. Kyle Sosnoski getting a 10th that lap, running the inside lane. Adam Smith still ripping the top. This is all coming down. Maybe it's the tires. Adam Smith ripping the top. Maybe his tires have, gone just a tiny bit here, and that's allowed Kyle to catch up.
Yeah, Kyle's been really disciplined of running the bottom. I haven't really seen him rip the wall unless he's trying to make a pass or something, or getting put in a situation to run it. Versus everybody else who's at least running the wall up in one of the corners. You've seen the 16 just kind of always been down here on the bottom trying to save his equipment. Shortest way around the track. It's definitely going to help if you set up the truck in the right way. It will help with the tire wear.
Kyle, 2/10 faster that last lap compared to our race leader. He's catching, and he's catching quick. I mean, Adam Smith, he's definitely starting to worry just a little bit, but pit strategy is going to start coming up the next 10, 15 laps. I think we're going to see trucks entering pit road, taking fuel and tires. They only have one more stop left in this race. Adam Smith brushes the wall. That allows Kyle to catch up even more. Only 5/10 the difference now.
And you just see him, he's slowly but surely getting closer and closer. And you can hear the Jaws music playing right now. Just, there's not really a whole lot that Adam can do. I mean, he's trying his best to stay away and get away, but you still see the 16. I mean, huge jump here in 1 and 2.
Huge jump. I mean, he's cashing. He's right there, trying to get up to the race lead here on lap 93. Bush in lap 100. I mean, this race is coming to a close. This race is going by quick. You just see him ripping that inside lane, and he is making it work. He's doing everything he can to get up to that race lead. There it is, side by side for the race lead. Adam Smith a little bit sideways on the top. Kyle Sosnoski there on the inside is not able to clear him just yet, but still gonna be side by side here in turn 3 and 4. There's the dive to the inside. Kyle Sosnoski, is he able to clear? It's gonna be close. Just barely clears the 21 machine. Kyle Sosnoski up to the race lead here on lap 95.
If I'm these drivers behind him, I'm starting to get a little worried. I mean, Kyle drove up to the race lead and no one else did. You see Chris Mathis still the guy in P3, and he's falling behind, and no one else has been able to get around the 17 versus Kyle, who drove up to the race lead and is starting to even pull away from the race leader, the old race leader of the 21 of Adam Smith. Now this is where you start to be like, oh man, like something needs to change here, because you can tell Kyle definitely did the best job saving tires.
No, he did a great job. We saw, I mean, there was a 4-car breakaway. Kyle was in that 5th spot just watching. Those 4 trucks were pulling away. He had the option to push and catch up to them and race for that position, but he thought otherwise, and he thought, I'm just going to save my tires. It will work in my benefit if we stay green. It's green, stayed green, and look at him. Back up to the race lead here. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, so I didn't even see some of these guys that weren't on the pit road.
Oh,
and
yellow is
caution.
out. Yellow flag is out right as we just had a couple cars enter pit road.
Like the 76 spun around.
Right before that yellow, Aaron Longworth entered pit road. Minotzi Major, one of the trucks in the pit road. Jim Mott. I mean,
Right in the middle of green flag pit stops.
yeah.
Oh, wow. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it looks like 61 trying to pit. Maybe 76. Maybe William didn't hear him, or maybe the 61 just didn't call it out, right? It's hard to tell. But maybe definitely some miscommunication. And you see the 76 getting the back end of the 61. And, I mean, yeah, that's what happens when there's no communication of what's going to happen. You see the 45 is going to go up there and tank slap the wall, but nowhere to go for him. But yeah, definitely some type of miscommunication between the 61 and the 76. 76 had no idea that Patrick was trying to pit. And around he goes. That's going to be a caution every day of the week. So, and yeah, like you mentioned, Gavin, that's a huge blow for some of these drivers who came down pit road already. Minotzi Majors, Jeremy T-Bon, Nim Silva, Lucas Edwards are trapped a lap down right now. Jim Mott trapped a lap down because they already went down pit road.
Well, the entire field who did not pit under green are now on a pit road here. Kyle Sosnoski bringing in the field. Some drivers staying out to get back on the lead lap. 4 tires it is for a lot of these drivers and fuel.
And this should easily get them to the end here. They should be going green with what, 33 to go, I would say. So easily enough to go. So this could potentially be the last stop of the race.
Kyle Sosnoski keeps the race lead off pit road.
You take a look at this. 5 laps. I mean, it seems like he should have led more with how much he's been up towards the front. He's been really a top, what, 6, 7 truck all race, and you know, just leading his first laps right there at the end of this green flag run. And I feel like this is the only driver who didn't really want to see that caution come out. I mean, if we went green here, he was definitely going to start to pull away from the rest of the field. See some wave around trucks right ahead of your race leader. Gonna go and take the wave around, get back on the lead lap, or at least get a lap back. See the 16 on the inside. You see the 21, Adam Smith, collecting the outside. Ferreira inside, and Chris Mathis completing your fast 4 with 100 complete here at Homestead. Take a look at
Toyota.
some big movies here. Adam Smith up 14 spots. He's been up here towards the front all race, though, so not a good qualifying lap for Adam Smith, but good recovery. Caleb Begg in the 98, up 12 spots. You look at people like Dominic Lee, had to start in the back due to a penalty, up 21 spots. And Noah Hunt, we saw him crash in qualifying, up 23 spots.
Great job by Noah. Comeback there. Comeback time. Gonna go green with just 34 laps to go. Kyle Sosnoski gonna lead us to the green flag. It will be a Toyota Chevy front row. Adam Smith right there on the outside lane. These drivers fighting for the win now. Pace car works a hard left on the pit road, and we are back green here at Homestead. Kyle Sosnoski, great jump by him, is able to clear the outside lane, entering turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, we mentioned again that Bottom doing a great job on the restart. Like always.
Oh, one truck sideways in turn 2. He saves it. Another truck sideways. Yellow is out in front of the field. Driver swerving out of the way.
Bunkley.
Richard Bunkley.
Bunkley turn around. Take a look once again, see what happened.
I saw around 3 trucks sideways at once. Some managed to save it, some did not.
Yeah, we see
the 45 sideways right there.
A couple of just separate incidents this year. You see the 45 sideways back there in the back. We'll see if we can get the 01. He
blinks.
has some connection issues. But we see the 1 kind of loose on his own, and when he blinks in, nowhere for the 65 to go. So he gets in the back of him. We saw.
Luckily, looks like with the blinking, I don't think the 65 got any damage out of it. Kind of phased through him.
Saw the 21 into the wall here on his own. I mean, just a bunch of, calamity. See the 21 get upset. He's going to get loose and up into the wall. Maybe a little bit of help. Yeah. From the 17. He's going to get up in the wall. So just a lot of just single car incidences. And obviously, even just one is going to bring out the caution. But good recovery for the 21. You see the L1 back there spun around backwards. And a good job by everybody back there to get around all these spun out trucks in a safe manner.
Luckily, the exterior damage on the 21 doesn't look too bad, but a hit like that could definitely knock a wheel out of alignment. Hopefully, the damage wasn't too bad. You see the right front, a little scraped up, but he's on pit road taking it.
Yeah, you see
definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, definitely very lucky to only have that little bit of right front damage, and that's only just from the contact from the wall. And honestly, even that little bit of damage is pretty good considering how hard he hit that wall. I mean, he took a big hit to that safer barrier out there. So you're going to see him continue to try to repair that car. Unfortunately, really terrible for him because, that's all that track position gone with only, now we're going to be going, 30 laps to go here. Not a lot of time to get back up to the front.
Yeah, not a lot of time indeed. He's going to have to try to charge up to the front. He's going to have to be aggressive.
No, I do believe that he can do it. Remember, he was up there in that P2 spot. He started outside the top 10. So we know that he can go up there and make moves to get back up there. He's just going to have to do it again. Fortunate that, definitely frustrating for him that he's going to be back here now in let's see, 23rd now, coming out of pit road. I think that truck's pretty good when it comes to damage wise, but definitely doesn't want to have to do this again. But it's kind of the way sometimes things go.
Kyle Sosnoski, our race leader, chooses the inside lane. Cody Porter chooses the outside. He's gonna march to the front row here. Toyota front row. Jarrett decides to pick the inside. He's watched Kyle kind of take off on these restarts. I mean, he's been strong. No one's been able to really time it well with the inside lane. So Jared may be watching that. 17, though, right there. Chris Mathis, 4th place on the outside. But we're going to see who can get it done here. Going to go green with 30 laps to go here at Homestead. Pace car hooking a hard left onto pit road. Once again, a Toyota front row. Kyle Sosnoski and Jarrett Fiera. We are back green here at Homestead. Kyle Sosnoski just, like we were talking about, I mean, he gets a huge, jump. Great restart by him. Just pulls away from the outside lane. Doesn't really have anyone to battle through 1 and 2. Side by side for second, though, right behind him.
Let's see, this is 615 side by side, and you're already starting to see once again 17 Chris Mathis start to rip the boards once again, like he has every other restart. I mean, we know that he's gonna do it now, and honestly, it's fun to see him get up there that close to the wall and get that truck all yada out. But I start to see the 15 try to block that lane that the 17's trying to run. Now they're gonna be side by side once again for that P2 spot.
15 getting a huge run out of turn 2. He's going to be able to clear the 600 machine. Entering turn 3 and 4. Look at Chris Mathis. We saw him ripping the top all last run. Look at he is moving on the outside lane. Looking side by side for second.
He's definitely adjusted his line.
Hit the wall again.
He's definitely adjusted his line to where he's only kind of running up top here in 1 and 2, and he's trying to went a little bit lower in 3 and 4 versus what he was doing, where he was just right up on the wall there. I think that will definitely help with the tire wear, where he's just kind of still having the advantage of running on the outside, but just kind of cutting the track a little bit.
Ooh. Near contact with the 16. But Chris Mathis on the inside there in 3 and 4, but side by side for 4th place. It's Blake Roebuck and Jarrett. Still side by side in 3 and 4. Chris Mathis, I think he kind of starting to understand, we have a couple laps left. Don't waste your tires too early if you want to battle for this race win. Everyone else seems to be saving. You don't want to be the odd one out and pushing as hard as you can. Then you're just, stuck later on. But we're single file, I think, the first 10 cars. 10 trucks, they're all saving. No one's really racing at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like they learned their lesson from the last run. They saw, the race leader, back there in 6th, 7th place, drive through the field, take the lead, and was starting to pull away just from tire saving. But also, you're starting to see these two start to pull away from just a little bit from the 3rd place driver on the straights.
17 was looking to the outside of the 16, entering turn 3, but was not able to do it.
Now, and Kyle's been put into a kind of a position that he's not used to being in, though. He's in the race lead now, and it looks like he's trying to keep it. So, I guarantee you he's pushing a little bit harder than he did that last run, just because he has to try to keep this race lead compared to when he was back there in 6th and 7th. And he could save the tires, kind of lag back. Now he's out here leading the race, and even though he does have that clean air, we know that 17 is definitely going to push a little bit harder than probably the rest of the field.
Yep. Keenan Kimber back there in the 7th position, moving to the inside. He's trying to get up to the front. Little blink by him, though. He's stuck, looking nearly 3 wide for that 6th position now.
Look at Caleb Begg back there. Is P6 now, up 15 positions. So
we're side by side for the lead. Chris Mathis out of nowhere. I thought he was going to be in line. I didn't really expect it entering turn 3. He just randomly jumped up to the outside. brush the wall once again out of turn 4. He's done that so many times, and it just scrubs all his speed off on exit. And allows Kyle to stay side by side with him.
Yeah, I feel like this is where he's best up here on the top is in 1 and 2. But unfortunately, the bottom's also pretty good in 1 and 2. So, but side by side once again, it's going to force him to run the top once again up here in 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead once again.
Chris is going to be able to pull away if he just stays out of the wall, out of turn 4 and onto the front stretch. I mean, I've seen him hit it at least 7 times, and it just slows down all his straight line speed and allows the inside lane to stay side by side. But Chris Mathis starting to run the outside lane, and he's really the best truck we've seen running the outside line today. 16 going up to block the 17. Never mind, he's going to leave a little bit of room. 17 stays on the outside. Side by side, entering turn 3 and 4.
17 running a little bit lower, but still on technically the top, trying to make something work into the wall again.
Hits the wall again. Slows down his speed, and that lets Kyle clear him. 17 still looking on the outside in turn 1 and 2, just not way up on the wall. Single file first 6, 7 positions.
Chris still not giving up on trying to take this lead away. Still up on the tailgate of this number 16, trying to find a spot to where he can go. Looks like he's going to try to look to the outside here, and he will, going into 1.
Kyle Sosnoski just doing a great job. I mean, we've seen him pretty much this entire race just running the inside lane, and he's been so good at it, running right on that white line. But he does have to defend Chris Mathis, who's just pushing as hard as he can on the outside lane. As Kyle, it's a little bit of loose on the inside. 17 now on the outside. Chris Mathis is going to get the lead, entering turn 1 and 2.
Be forced to stay on the top, though. Wasn't clear enough to drop down. Should get a little bit of a run out of the corner here, but a really good corner by the 16.
Yeah, really good corner. Managed to stay still on his left rear. Enter turn 3 and 4. Still running the inside. You see Chris Mathis so dominant on the outside. But the thing is, the outside may be faster. It's really good on exit. But it cooks up your tires. I'm kind of wondering how much it's going to affect him if we stay green here and with everyone else behind him really running the inside lane. But, I mean, he's up to the lead now, with the 16 of Kyle right behind him.
You saw Kyle back out there, kind of give the spot to the 17, at least momentarily. You said, well, if you want it that bad, you can take it. I'm not going to burn my stuff up trying to keep you behind me. Because look at this now. With them going side by side, here comes the 15, here comes the 600, here comes even the 30 of Roebuck lurking in the background.
Yeah, Blake Roebuck was ripping the wall in turn 3 and 4, managing to make it work. Looks like he's on a mission, doing the same thing in 1 and 2. He's trying to get up to the front. Saw it worked out for Chris Mathis. Why can't it work out for him? He's going to try to do it right here.
Michael Sellers with a quiet day in that P6 position, that number 24 machine. Trying to work his way up into the top 5.
Chris Mathis, once he got that lead, he's just been running the inside this entire time. Been very strong, doing it pretty well. Kyle Sosnoski, though, still on that inside, but first time this run, Kyle has really been behind a truck, getting a little bit of dirty air. Doesn't affect these trucks too much, but definitely plays a little bit in, tire saving. But Kyle Sosnoski definitely, I think, is in the best position with tires as Chris Mathis goes back up to the outside lane with Kyle still running the inside.
And Kyle's going to get side by side on exit, but I think the 17... Oh, into the wall again. You saw it on the onboard. Still going to stay clear.
Yeah, definitely didn't slow him down as much as, I mean, we've seen the wall slow him down, but he's hit the wall multiple times. Still out in front, though.
I'm surprised to see him kind of ripping the boards again. I feel like we've talked about it several times. We say that he goes to the bottom, but I feel like the bottom's the way to go if you're trying to save your stuff. And you know, once you have the lead, I feel like this is the perfect time to try to save your stuff, to try to, you know, when you're out the lead, you are the guy that kind of dictates the pace of the race. And when you're up there ripping the wall and tearing your stuff up, I mean, it's just not going to go well for you.
Look at the 16 looking on the outside of the 17 into turn 3 and 4. Gonna switch it up. See how Kyle does on the outside lane. Not right up on the wall, but he's running that seam. Look at Cody Porter now, right there in 30s. Right there watching the battle for the race lead right in front of him. Gonna be side by side now, entering turn 1 and 2 once again for the race lead.
That's kind of the first time we've seen the 16 actually go out of his way to rip the wall here, and he's going to easily take the lead back. I just feel like the 17 doesn't have the tires to be fast on the bottom, and he's going to easily get around that number 17 machine. Here comes the 15 trying to make a move for P2.
17 in the wall. It's going to slow him down. Might allow. No, not yet, but Cody Porter side by side. That allows Kyle Sosnoski to pull away just a little bit. Kyle back to the inside, finally back up in the lead. Kyle Sosnoski wants this win. Great week last week at Vegas. We know how much he's determined. He wants this win badly, and you know he's proven he's probably the truck to beat at the moment. He's super fast. Almost 10 laps to go here at Homestead, and he has 6, maybe 7 car length distance between him and Chris Mathis.
Yeah, it's going to be between him and Cody. Can Cody get up there and run down this 16 machine? I feel like Cody probably had the best opportunity to save tires a little bit better than Kyle. Kyle was forced to fight a little bit with the 17 of Chris Mathis, as we're starting to see the 17 start to slide back to even the clutches of the 4th place drivers of Jared Ferreira and Michael Selly's now up into the top 5. But right now I feel like it's got to be between Cody and Kyle. I don't think these guys have enough time to get back up there with only 10 to go.
10 laps to go. Cody Porter, one of our open trucks, in 2nd place. He's gonna do. I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing what he's gonna try to do to get up to the race lead. I mean, Cody's been on the inside this entire run. I haven't seen him running the outside once, so I'm kind of curious if, you know, maybe. I mean, if you want to get up to the lead, you got to try everything. Maybe you try running the outside and see if it works.
He has been running quicker laps than your race leader.
There it is. He's running the outside. Going to try to get up to our race leader. 15 is going to get a good run. I mean, that's what we saw Larson do in the truck race. Was running the outside lane and just was so much faster than everyone else, running right up against that wall, and Cody's gonna do exactly that and try, you know, to catch up.
He did a good job.
3/10 the difference right now.
Yeah, that was a massive lap compared to that. That was a whole almost 10th quicker. And you already see now he's already there, starting the pressure on your race leader for this race win.
Kyle realized how quick Cody was catching him on the top. Kyle picked the top in 1 and 2 to try to defend the 15, thinking the 15 would be up there once again, but the 15 decided to go to the inside lane. Kyle is just so strong on that inside lane. Definitely the best currently on track running that inside lane. Pulled away from Cody just a little bit there. About the same distance last lap. Both trucks running the top now. As 2nd place truck nearly in the wall, Cody Porter.
Yeah, I don't think Cody expected your race leader to go up there and
defend it.
Defend it, exactly. You're going to see him go up in the top now. We know Kyle likes the bottom in 3 and 4. You're going to see Cody go up there and try to use this top to his advantage here.
I mean, Cody has to do everything he can to try to get up to this lead, and I don't think that's going to happen with Cody running the inside. The 16 is just so strong running that inside lane, and he's doing a great job defending the 15 currently in 1 and 2. I mean, taking that lane away from him.
I mean, he's out of the camera shot now when we look at this TV3 camera. And, yeah, I feel like Cody just has to do the opposite of what the 16 has to do. So we've seen the 16 now these last couple laps run the top in 1 and 2, run the bottom in 3 and 4. So if I'm the 16, you got to do the bottom. Run the bottom in 1 and 2, run the top in 3 and 4, just to get that clean air on your nose. You have to do something with 4 to go here. I mean, you're there. You're within striking distance. You can smell that win, but you're gonna have to get around the 16, who's done a really good job.
Sosnoski getting closer and closer to getting the win he's wanted for so long. He can nearly taste it, but Cody Porter right there wants that win as much as the 16 machine. He's doing everything he can to get up to that race lead, but now 4 laps to go here. Sosnoski doing a great job, still running the outside, taking the lane away from the 15 machine in 1 and 2.
And 15 just kind of getting held back. I feel like this dirty air is really affecting him. And I mean, you're getting to the point now that it's desperate time, right, for this 15. Really, you got to try to do something different to try to make up this time. Because you did run him down, but you guys have been running, basically similar laps. Really good lap for the
He's gaining
15 there, a little under half a tenth quicker that lap. And I mean, we're going 2-3 to go now. You gotta pull out all the stops here if you want to get to this number 16 machine.
I've noticed the 15 is sending it way deeper than the 16 here in turn 3 and 4. Does it once again. Runs that second lane, tries to gain as much time as he can. But here we are with 2 laps to go now here at the line. Sosnoski tasting the win. He's right there, only a couple laps to go, but Cody Porter wants this just as much as he does.
I do have a lap car that they're catching. This could potentially alter the race if this lap car wants to do something dumb here. So, see the lap car run the top. That's the number 2.
It's going to get out of the way for a second place driver. Here we are taking the white flag here at Homestead. Sosnoski, 1 more lap to go here as he is racing for the win in the lead here in turn 1 and 2.
And to pull out the final stops. Really good exit of 1 and 2 here for the number 16. You saw the P2 did not really gain here. There's 2 more corners for the number 16 machine.
Big send by the 15. Just is not able to get there. The 16 out of turn 4 is going to get his first win of the season. Sosnoski, our race winner here at Homestead. Number 16 machine, great run by him. Was fast all night long. That's how you do it. It's fast all last week at Vegas. Gets the win here at Homestead.
And what a great run by the number 16 and Kyle, right? Didn't really seem like he was going to be the guy to beat in the first half of the race. And then really after stage 2 ended, he really showed out. And with these long runs, showing that he was going to be the guy to beat on the long run. And that's what we got. Went caution free after that one incident. And when it came down to tire strategy, I don't think anybody was going to beat the 16.
Yeah, no, it was really Kyle that was, fast. Him tire strategy-wise was definitely one of the best trucks out there. Same with Jarrett, but Kyle Sosnoski getting it done here at Homestead, burning it down on the front straightaway. That is how you do it. Great job protecting the race lead from Cody Porter there. Burning it down, man. I mean, heck of a win. Heck of a job. Was so close to winning last week at Vegas and finally gets it done. I mean, great win.
You see him park
Can't get any better than that.
You see him park that truck there and right across the start-finish line, as we're going to go ahead and look at your unofficial race results. Once again, you're seeing Kyle Sosnoski right there well, getting out of the car now. Your winner here at Homestead Miami Speedway, Cody Porter. Too little, too late for that number 15. He's going to come home P2. Chris Mathis will round out your podium, and Michael Sellers, great run for him to come back. He's going to round out your fast four. Dominic Lee, P5. Where did he come from? We didn't really talk about him all race.
Besides the penalty in the beginning.
Yeah, penalty beginning up. Oh, that's going to be up 27 spots for that number 19 machine. Jarrett Ferreira, P6. Keenan Kimber in that number 65, P7. Jordan Slater, P8. Munatsi Major, good comeback from that spin early in the race. And Blake Roebuck will round out your top 10.
In 11th, Caleb Begg. In 12th, Chris Davis. 13th, Noah Hunt. 14th, Josh Stoltz. And rounding out our top 15 is William Ransone. Great run by him. 16th, Patrick McPeak. 17th, the 01 of Richard Bunkley, who we saw was in that incident, the last yellow. Come back by him. 17th. Not a bad finish. 18th, Joe Gibbons. 19th, Jeremy Tebon. And rounding out our top 20 is Lucas Edwards.
21st of Sylvain Jolly in that number 20. First position in that 808 machine. 22nd, Jim Mott. Really quiet day for him. Going to come on with the top 25. Ryan Taft, we saw him up there at the beginning of the race, but he's going to come home 23rd. The last car on the lead lap, Adam Smith. Just what could have been for that number 21 machine. Just up there for the most of the race and just got caught up at the end there and had to drive through the field. Xander Short, also one of those what could have been races, was up there in the first stage and got caught up in a wreck. You see him 2 laps down. Also 2 laps down, Aaron Longworth in the P26 position. 3 laps down, Austin Runkle. Also 3 laps down, Nim Silva in that number 96 machine. Richard Myers, 12 laps down in 29th. And Michael Deitch in 30th, 14 laps down.
Matthew Campbell in 31st. Did not finish this race. Same goes for Gregory Valet, 32nd. Corey Mott, Noah Nicholson, Berryman, and Barry Kramer, who we saw had that incident lap 1, will finish last in 36th. That rounds off our race results here at Homestead, as we're going to try to talk to our podium finishers here.
Yeah, we'll get our podium finishers into the Discord, get them all ready to go. But while we get them in there, let's go ahead and have a word from our sponsors over at iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the Baptist Health 200 here at Homestead Miami Speedways. We just saw Kyle Sosnoski claim victory here at Homestead, but we're going to go ahead and talk to your podium finishers here. And I guess the first guy we're going to talk to is number 17, Chris Mathis, who finished P3.
And just do one thing over and over.
Hey, Chris, Christian and Gavin up here in HVTV booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, man.
Well, a P3 finish for you. It seemed like you were up towards really the front this whole race. Battling for the win there at the end, but we saw you kind of start to fall behind in the closing laps. Just walk us through the race and walk us through maybe what you needed to do differently to maybe get up there and race for that win?
Man, I probably should loosen it up a lot more. I really got behind on. I got black flags, so I had to go to the back at the beginning, and I had to literally stay out there with a 9 lap older tires. But Kyle was the class of the field. I mean, right there on that longer run, he was gone. And I can't get off the wall. Any track where you can run the high side, I tend to go up there and bounce off the wall 90 times and hope the car stays together.
Yeah,
Yep.
you were the pretty much. I mean, the best truck at ripping the outside lane tonight. I mean, you were doing a great job running out there. Most of the run, and you were very quick. You know, racing up there, getting to the lead, kind of back and forth for that. Lead position, first place, and I mean, podium finish here. I mean, it's still a great finish, but so close to getting the race win. I mean, what's your perspective? I mean, coming to the finish and finishing third, anything maybe you could have done or differently or what?
Yeah, maybe if there was a green white checkered, I probably could have did something. But Cody and Kyle, they was doing pretty good at running the bottom, so it was gonna be between them two. All I could do is try to raise some kind of havoc. There was a restart. I got into, I think Adam got in front of me or whatever, but I spun him out, and I'm so dearly apologize about that. I did not mean to do that. And I know he was up there running good, and I just totally took him out of it.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really close racing throughout the race, not only between you, but really, like, I would say consistently, like, the top 9 drivers who were up there consistently throughout the race was really up there racing each other super hard, but mostly super clean. But yeah, I mean, you still can't really complain about a P3 finish, but you know, going into next week, I think you guys go to Martinsville next week.
Oh man, do we?
I
Oh,
believe so. Yeah.
what's your mindset going into Martinsville next week?
I like Martinsville. It's a little beat and bang track. Uh, I mean, it can be fun if there's a lot of give and take. It can be real fun. Uh, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm just glad I was able to finish third. Actually, I've had a bad couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean that's the
Oh,
kind of the thing here with the VRS Truck Series. I mean, you can be quick and not and run up front and just kind of at the end of there get caught up in something that you're doing and not have the best finishes, but still a great finish for you in the P3. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, any sponsors, friends, or family watching at home you want to shout out?
yeah, I'm gonna thank Major's Garage in Dallas and everybody over there allowing me to do this. It's real fun. Sellers, him and Chris Vickery, they split time in that seat, and that was good to see him do good. And uh, I think what's his? I forgot his name. He finished ninth, so I mean that was good for all of us. So
Well, like I said, once again, a great run for you, and like I said, up here, really in the top 5, top 10 all race. But once again, congratulations on this P3 finish, and hopefully we can talk to you maybe in Victory Lane next week.
yeah, man, thank you guys.
That was Chris Mathis, your P3 finisher here, and let's go ahead and talk to Mr. Cody Porter in the number 15 P2 finisher tonight. Hey Cody, it's Christian and Gavin up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, once again, another solid run for you, and so close to maybe running down that 16 of Kyle to race for that win. But walk us through your race. Walk us through maybe what you could have done to maybe get to the 16 there at the end.
Yeah, the race was fun. A lot of people were not saving tires at all, so I was really hardcore saving until we could get a long run. But then I think we unfortunately had too many cautions for us to get a really, really good long run in. Me and Kyle were both saving tires. We are running the same team. A little different setups to see which will be a little bit better maybe. But we had roughly the same pace. But at the very end, that last caution, I think it was on lap 100, I made a adjustment to a little bit low fuel and loosen it up, and I made it a little too loose. So at the very end, I was just sliding around a little too much, so I couldn't get it by him. But he was really fast, and he deserved that win 100%.
Yeah, I mean, well, you were I mean, you were pretty much up front. I mean, the entire race, battling back and forth for the lead. I mean, open driver. I mean, what was your mindset going into this race?
I get 5 races, so I wanted to run a few of these tracks that I know that I like, Homestead, Rockingham, and a few other tracks. I just want to see if I can come in here and run through the fast guys and see if I can get a win, especially for some of the teams that might not have a chance to win on a regular basis. I don't know what the situation might be. Maybe going to the playoffs, like maybe they're running an open car or whatever it might be. In this case, I think the driver is on vacation, so they just needed a driver. I was like, yeah, I'll run it for you for sure, you know. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'll run Homestead. I love Homestead and try to go get a win. But Kyle put up a awesome fight, and he deserved that win. So it is what it is. I'll take P2. Be happy about it.
Well, still an awesome finish for you, and like I always enjoy having some of you guys up in the Cup and Xfinity Series come down and racing the trucks. I mean, obviously you guys are up there racing in the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series, all that stuff for is. I mean, you guys are the cream of the crop here for Crown Jewel, so it's always fun to see you guys come down here and race with the regulars here in the VRS Truck Series. So, once again, a great P2 finish. But before we let you go, we'll let you give your shout outs. Anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors, friends, family watching at home?
Yeah, I gotta thank LR Speedco for the setup tonight. It was a rocket ship. Long run speed, short run speed was okay, but long run speed we were just hauling the mill. I gotta thank the league for putting on these races. I mean, every week there's a class act. I mean, it's awesome. And thank you guys for the broadcast. Can't wait to watch it back.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words. And like I said, open driver. So I don't. It sounds like you don't even know when your next race is going to be. So, but we appreciate you guys coming out and putting on a good show at home. And we'll let you go down to celebrate this P2 finish. And hopefully, we can talk to you soon.
All right, thank you, thank you.
That was Cody Porter, your P2 driver here, and I guess it's time to talk to the man of the hour right here, Cody and Kyle. I mean, really dominant race, really put it on there at the end there. But let's go ahead and talk to him. Hey Kyle, it's Christian and Gavin up here in the HVT booth. Got a copy?
What's up, guys?
Well, you finally got one done. You know, you've talked to us before up here, and you know, in a P2, P3 spots for these other things, but finally figured out a way to get this number 16 machine up in victory lane. So just walk us through your race and walk us through, you know, what was going through your mind those last couple laps.
Well, we finally had green flag runs. That was needed those. Felt really confident on the set there for some long green flag runs. To really just kind of pace myself and click people off one at a time. Not the qualifying lap I wanted, but it was enough to put us P4 there. Was having a good first stage. Late caution came out. We're all playing the faking pit road games, and I accidentally clipped the commitment line there and had to go to the back, which was a little scary trying to come back up through there. I remember there was a huge wreck in front of me at one point in the middle of the second stage there, and we barely got by. And then second stage, just again still pacing because I knew it was kind of a shorter run. Kind of had to burn up my stuff a little bit getting through the field, and then that final stage really just I felt like I wasn't really racing anybody else because I knew I was just really only going to beat myself. So I just kept trying the bottom feed and real light in the throttle and keep the wheel steady and, you know, crossing the seams and not letting the rear end kind of slip and slide out of the corner. And then I would go to the top when I wanted to make it difficult for whoever. And then Cody kept me honest there on those last 15 laps.
I mean, so fast this week. You were fast last week too, and you were so close to, you know, winning it. We knew you were gonna get a win. I mean, sometime this season. Did you expect it to be today, or I mean, what was your mindset?
I knew Homestead would definitely be one of my better shots. I love this place. I kind of like the high bank 1.5 miles and, you know, some of the high banked 1 miles. So I knew it was going to be one of my better shops. I know we're going to Martinsville next week, which I'm not too kind of pretty mediocre at. I struggle a little bit with those flat tracks, so kind of felt like I just wanted to, click off a win, get it out of the way, lock a spot into the playoffs, and kind of, be able to gamble some more or just try to build up some playoff points.
Well, it's definitely a big relief, especially going to Martinsville, knowing that you're locked into the playoffs and don't have to worry about banging your way up to a win there. Obviously, a long ways to go into the until we get into the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, once finally getting one done here. I mean, we're up there towards the front, at Atlanta. We're close to winning that one there, and then here, I mean, didn't look like you had the card to beat at the end, just because of the cautions and stuff with the stages and stuff. But towards the end, you really put it on and went out there and showed why you were here and why you had that long run pace. But once again, congratulations on the win. And before we let you go, anybody you want to shout out? Any sponsors, friends, or family watching at home?
Yeah, definitely want to shout at Jacob and Corey. We got that 1-2 finish there for Cargo. I know Trading Paints is down, but Lancaster Brewing, Team Conti for the setups, and going over the setups and continuing to provide me speed week in week out. So yeah, definitely excited for that 1-2 finish there. So especially want to thank everybody on that team and give me the opportunity.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not really any way to put it. I mean, Victoria's here at Homestead, and luckily into the playoffs. But we're gonna go ahead and let you go down and celebrate with your friends, family, teammates, do whatever you do at towards the end of these races, and hopefully we can talk to you maybe if you like you said if we get lucky back in here in Victory Lane at Martinsville next week.
All right, thank you.
Yep. That was your race winner, Kyle Sosnoski. You race winner in the 16, and once again, I guess we'll go through some of your biggest movers, some of your big losers here. Michael Sellers, P4 here at Homestead, up 8 spots. You see Dominic Lee, we talked about him towards the end, up 27 spots, having that penalty and not being able to qualify. Up 27 spots and secures himself a top 10 spot. You have Michael Munatzi Major up 10 spots, who's going to finish P9. You also have Caleb Begg up 10 spots, finishing P11. Noah Hunt up 23 spots after wrecking and qualifying. And then some of your big losers, you see, Ryan Taft had a pretty good qualifying run. He's going to finish back there in 23rd. Matthew Campbell minus back 25 spots after getting right down. Michael Deitch minus 13. Corey Mott, even though this was, he's a open driver, down 18. Definitely not the way he wanted to use up one of those races. And Gregory Velati in that number 11 looked pretty quick. He's also down 27 spots, finishing P34. But Gavin, once again, a pretty interesting race. Not as many cautions as we got at Vegas, so it felt a little bit more smooth to call and a lot more entertaining, especially with Homestead the way it is. With the dynamic track. With you saw, as we mentioned before, the 17 Chris Mathis really being able to rip the wall, but you also saw people like Kyle who could really make that inside work.
I mean, yeah, we knew it would be, Homestead, multi-lane racetrack. We knew there would be, some crazy battles going on, but, man, what a race. Couldn't have been any better than it was. Long green flag. Runs, strategy came into play. It was super fun to call, and I hope everyone who was watching had a great time watching. I know the racers had a ton of fun, and overall, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was incredible.
No, calling these Homestead races is always fun, just knowing that, you're going to see those dynamic tracks and stuff like that. And we didn't even mention, the new graphics update at Homestead Miami, making this track look even more beautiful and polished than it already did. So didn't even get to mention that in the broadcast, but always love calling races here. But I guess it's time to wrap it up for the night. Everybody, have to give a huge thank you to everybody in chat typing and making this worthwhile. And once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your producer, lead commentator. Once again, we had Gavin Austin in the booth again, so thank you to Gavin for coming up and stepping up and being a part of this VRS family and being up here in the trucks every night. But besides that, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday night, and we're going to call it a night over here from the HVTV broadcasting studio over here in Central Kansas. And once again, hope everybody has a great rest of your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be back right here on Monday night for Martinsville. Once again, guys, hope everybody has a great rest of the night, and we'll see you guys later.